We'll start recording. All right,
All
so
right.
it is October 11th. It is 7:24 a.m. It is Usman Afalabi, aka the professional trader, and I'm here with Kailash. And today, we're just going to be talking about the Forex markets, the indices, and giving our live reaction to the news that's coming out in the next couple of minutes. So do you have any expectations, Kailash? It comes out in 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Any expectations?
I do think I think it's gonna be around flat, and I'm just
Mhm,
going on like overall, like the whole prices have kind of they've gotten lower and they've been kind of flattening out. So
mhm.
that's my guess. But sometimes it's all about like the reaction. Sometimes the number can kind of do anything and the market can just react however it wants to react. So
Yeah, that's true. It's
yeah,
definitely.
interested. Yeah.
Uh, taking a look at the DXY for the news. If we're looking at it on the 4 hour, we see that it is, it's right at that support level, right? So interestingly enough, it's found its way to that support level right at the time that the news is gonna drop. So like technicals and fundamentals, it's just kind of crazy how they like line up so perfectly sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I took that gold trade yesterday. You know, got pretty freaking lucky, right? I think we were literally like right here when we were talking about it yesterday, and I was like, think I'm probably gonna get stopped out,
Yeah.
and you know, maybe about 2 pips, 3 pips away, but
Wow.
didn't get stopped out.
Oh my.
Yeah, I have my stop loss now to 1870.
That's good.
Just because the news is coming out, so pretty pretty that's one of the clutch ones, but
It's amazing. Yeah.
it's right there at that like mini 1 hour resistance. So you know trailing my stop loss, just because this news that that's coming out. But we have 4 minutes until that happens, and interestingly enough, like all these pairs have like came to resistance, even like Euro USD, it kind of even peaked to that daily resistance, like literally 1, 2 pips away. And kind of the same thing with GBP USD. It's hit that daily resistance. So uh are we gonna get those continuations, like it's been doing, or is the trend gonna change, and are we gonna like see breaks of this structure, or is this level gonna fail? It'd be pretty interesting. But I have about 3 minutes. But something I do want to say though, like non-USD related, something I am looking at is Euro AUD. So just because on the daily time frame, I feel like from a technical analysis standpoint, this is like an overall bullish chart. So from from this impulse move and then this retracement and then this impulse move, just looking at it like from the daily chart, I take the Fibonacci tool and I draw it from down here to up here. And I see like, it's just kind of been ranging from this 382 to this 50% level. And even like, wick this 618, like perfectly. So I think the uptrend is still valid. I was personally looking for for the break of this structure first, before I did take the buy. But uh just like, just not risking as much, right? Just because oh what did I do? Sorry about that. Yeah. Just not risking as much because 74 pips. But I like the trade from a daily standpoint though. So this is also something I am looking I did buy it. I think I'm only risking like $28, but like from a long-term perspective, like if this can head back here, that's 546 pips away. So, I think it's a good risk to reward trade, right? And then, this wick on the daily chart is, pretty major, right? Pretty nice. I think it's called a pin bar. And then, hasn't broke this, but it's retraced. And then, this candle is here, this indecision candle, and then this impulse move today, is what's making me buy it. So, that's also something I am looking at. You looking at anything, Kailash? Are you in
Oh, I
anything
like
before
that. It looks like it's like potential reversal, right? It could be
right?
like
Yeah.
it just has to get that higher
Potentially, right?
high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
potentially. And
I
like,
really like the
just
GBP strong standing
GBP.
out. Yeah, like out of all of them,
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely the strongest.
Yeah, and we see that we have news coming out in
Yeah.
about oh, it's out already. So let's see how these
Potential
markets are
bullish.
reacting. Okay, so we see it's pushing up a little bit high, to start. So PPI 0.5%. So pretty positive for the dollar on both of them, on PPI and core PPI. And looking at the DXY, not the biggest like impulse move, not yet at least.
Yeah.
I'm looking at USD CHF, nothing too crazy happening. Looking at USD CAD, nothing too crazy.
And interesting, gold wicked down and now it's getting bought back up.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
I
so
mean, not strong buyback up, but it's just like a wick
mhm.
down.
Yeah,
Dollars
look,
still, you know,
I've been stopped out of my gold trade, so
it's,
pretty
that's
pretty pretty
good.
nice trade. Not mad at it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes,
Because like I'm sure it can pull back a little bit more, hopefully. But
yeah.
yeah,
Was realistically looking to for it to pull back to that 1882 and then potentially selling it again from there. But on this, it's at a level that is potential resistance. So yeah, uh, not the not like the biggest moves, right?
no,
That's happening, right? But that's everything for me. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let you share your screen, bro. I think I've already
sure.
yeah let me
Let's see.
pause mine and you can go ahead and just share yours.
I would say though, I think the DXY, I think we're still gonna give them time, like the sellers. I think I got it shared. Okay,
Yeah, I
you
got
can
it.
see
Yeah,
it. Okay,
yeah.
yeah. I think the DXY, I think, in my opinion, I think they failed a little bit. Like they didn't smash really like selling in the past couple
Mhm.
days. They've kind of, you know, they've been a little steady. I want to see like in the next few days, like if I'm a bear on the DXY, I want to see them like really smash like down, like
Yeah,
prove it, right?
big impulse moves to the downside.
Yeah. These are like slow, steady moves down. And
Mhm,
I would say this is still bullish.
mhm.
Yeah.
Are you
And then
are you trading anything? Are you in anything?
no, not at the moment. I'm completely flat. Um,
You have
I'm
any
kind of
set?
just I'm mostly looking at stocks or like the
Okay.
indexes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you taken any currency pair trades yet or not yet?
I've taken really small, like the Euro USD. I tried to buy that. GBP, I bought that, but I was like so quick to exit. So I do
Okay.
need to improve on my game there. Like I really like it's like I entered at the perfect time, but I quickly jumped out on the GBP a while back.
Yeah.
But I'm
Oh
gonna look
yeah.
for that'll be like my goal this week. I think if I were gonna pick on a pair, like I'm thinking of it like I'm not a type of person who like bullies other people, but like in the market, I kind of think sometimes you have to be like a bully, like with a stop loss, of course. But if I was gonna like bully, so like I would bully like the Japanese yen if I was wanting to short, because unfortunately, it's like it's easy, and I don't want to use that term like loosely, but it's very like trending bearish. So
Yeah.
if you kind of wanted like a more simpler like trade, I guess, would be shorting the yen, and I guess the Canadian dollar also looks interesting, especially with the way that oil is moving. I think
How
this
is oil
bounce,
looking?
oil is it's not, it's actually, oil might be filling the gap because it gapped
Mm,
up on
mm,
Sunday,
mm,
and now it hasn't, you can see the difference between oil and gold. Gold gapped up and has been making, like, every single day it's been pushing higher,
yeah,
but oil was just flat and going lower.
yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
But
Not the biggest reaction that I was expecting,
yeah, yeah.
um, but from an overall perspective, I I think this the oh actually I mean on the 1 minute chart, that does look nice, but I think from an overall perspective, like from at least from a fundamental standpoint, the DXY is bullish.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. But still need to see like higher highs start to come in because from a technical analysis standpoint, it doesn't
Yeah.
really line up with the fundamentals. Like still not yet, in my opinion. So still pretty interesting, right? Not, but I mean, as today goes on, which way will the momentum start to head?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a little bit uncertain as long as we're for bulls on the DXY, as long as we're just in September. It's
Mm,
kind of like it's like it's like jello. Like you can't really move
mm,
fast to the upside as long
mm,
as like you're under the high.
yeah,
I really like, if I would be a bull, I really want to like just get above. That's
yeah,
what I'm thinking. As the
yeah,
for like
for
the
sure.
best opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes the most sense. And like,
Yeah.
it's uh could you go back on that monthly chart on the
Oh
DXY?
yeah, yeah, here.
So like interestingly enough, like where you have that white line, right? Let's say it was to cross over that like resistance would like then be support. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we would a change of structure and it turning the other way and going above that September high is I think necessary for sure.
And on the weekly chart, we're still technically, okay, so we're in weekly consolidation as well. So
Mhm.
another, to make it even, like, because here's the September high, but to make like a more local area, you can lower it down to the low of the week of October,
Yeah,
and we've broken that. So officially, this whole run up, this is the first, we're getting the first pullback. So
yeah,
now it's all about how far can the sellers take it, breaking down. So we're still going to be under this high, even if we get a decent bounce. But now it's like we're watching how strong are these sellers in getting below it to see how much they can advance the weekly consolidation. And if I would, like, as a buyer of the dollar, I want to be patient. That's what I'm thinking. Like I'm fine with even a pullback, like, because this is a significant run up, and the fib too. Seeing how much we can pull back on the DXY, we can still pull back down to the 382, which is, it's like a 30% pullback, 35, 38% pullback, and it's still bullish as long as
yeah,
we're above the 382.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I could even be patient as a buyer for the DXY here. One other thing I have to point out too is the DXY and the bonds, because when you look at the monthly chart of the DXY and the bonds, it's very similar. You can see we, it's like with the bonds, we broke the low of September, and the dollar, we broke above the high. So we lacked follow through. We broke down, lacking follow through. We're back above. And it's not one to one exactly correlated, but you can see when the bonds were bearish in 2022, you can see the DXY was bullish. So you can see like those dotted lines.
Yeah.
DXY bullish, bonds were bearish.
Mhm.
When the bonds had their bounce here, then the DXY had its like pullback around that same time. And the dates line up. as well. It's
Yes,
probably
yeah,
better if I do it like this and I match the dates, the date range, because you can really see very
yeah,
similar.
yeah,
So
that's
I would
pretty
have my
cool.
eyes, yeah, I would be watching these bonds because they've had a bounce. I have to make this daily. Not to be too confusing here, but yeah, as bonds are having their bounce, if I want to be a bull on the dollar, I do want to wait until this bounce kind of tops out
Mhm.
and just want to see that I'm being patient. I want to see like it top out and then curve back down to go lower.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Most definitely.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and get back on my screen. Just see how things are doing. So now that this news is out, and now that it really hasn't done anything significantly, like something like GBP USD. Now that it's at that, it's right at that daily, what was once support, now potentially resistance. We saw big impulse moves after the break of the structure here, and now we're literally back here. So, but you were saying the GBP was pretty strong, right?
Yeah. If I
And
were to
so,
short against like the dollar, like if I wouldn't pick on GBP,
you
in
know,
my opinion, I wouldn't.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
But it interestingly enough, it is right there. And then
But it is a good spot. Yeah.
yeah, but then something like we have something like Euro USD that's also doing the same thing, that's right at another what was once support, not now potentially resistance. So a couple setups for sure, right? But would maybe want to start seeing like breaks, of structures, and then maybe entering like somewhere, something like that. But uh good risk to reward right now, like if you did want to enter a trade. But just not like super convinced at the moment, right? Yeah, and that's just how I personally feel.
One good phrase that I've heard somebody say is if it's cheap to find out, then try it. So I think it's even if it's strong, like I think like
Hmm.
you pointed out, like the location is good. So
Hmm.
it's cheaper to find out because it's closer to like that level.
Yeah.
So as long as it's cheap to find out, I mean you can just take it. And sometimes it works because sometimes the stronger names they give you like a stronger pullback. So
Hmm.
I mean,
And
yeah,
not risking too much for sure is like
yeah.
like how you can also find out with not devastating yourself. But looking at GBP USD, like we see that even after that news came out, it's it kind of rejected that area here. But at the moment we see some like bullish momentum coming in. So if these levels can start to fail, and if it can start to break lower, then maybe, and kind of the same thing with Euro USD. Looking at USD CAD, kind of just been ranging back and forth. So I just want to see which way USD CAD is gonna break. So pretty boring, right? Pretty boring. Looking at something like GBP JPY, you know, it looks like, from an overall standpoint, I've always thought, from like a technical analysis standpoint, it's been bullish. But it's been like most definitely bearish from like August to till now. But we see after that week that happened with all the yen pairs, we see that this one is kind of recovering nicely. And now, like, what was once resistance is getting broken. So this looks like a potential good setup, right? If this could break with a good impulse and then retest this, I'll be looking to take this next resistance level repair. So
That looks like
put
the Euro AUD chart too. It looks like a
right.
stronger one. That one, like with
Yeah.
the wick down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of felt the same way about your AUD and GBP JPY. I've I've tried to trade them the same way. I've taken trades on them sometimes the same way, but I liked Euro AUD just because the risk to reward was a little bit better.
Yeah.
But if this can happen and with a good retest, then like the risk to reward, that's it's 130 pips, and then stop loss would be like below these structures. So not a bad trade, about like 50 pips. So yeah, I'd be looking for something like that if that could happen. So I'm gonna be keeping my eye out on GBP JPY. CAD JPY is kind of like the same thing, right? But kind of struggling at this resistance level. So just want to see the same thing on CAD JPY if that is gonna happen too. That would be looking to potentially go long. So might be staying away from USD related pairs, for the moment. Might just be staying away in general. Uh Looking at my FTMO account, I believe I got stopped out that trade. So I am now back to 3.45%. I was a little bit under 3% yesterday, so not bad, not bad. Right. Yeah, but that's it for me, Kailash, man. Anything else you maybe wanted to say?
Yeah, not much. I'm gonna make it actually a goal this week. I'm actually gonna put on a trade. I'm gonna make a trade setup. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, since today's we're still kind of early in the week. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let's look at Forex Factor real quick because we have stuff tomorrow too, right? So
Yeah.
not over for the DXY, right? Like still need to be on the sidelines, right? And then even Friday we have a little sentiment. I'm not really sure what this is. Are you aware?
Not much, but usually the 10 a.m. stuff, at least
Hmm.
because I just watched like with the Nasdaq and the SPY, it
Hmm.
doesn't make a whole lot of movement compared to the ones that come out like 8:30.
Yeah,
Like I think CPI is going to be the biggest one for tomorrow, but those ones on Friday I don't think will be too much,
yeah.
too important.
So there's CPI and unemployment tomorrow, right? So
Yeah.
if you are free, man, probably same thing tomorrow just to see how these numbers
Well,
come out, see how it
yeah, yeah,
affects the
I'm
dollar.
all free in the
All right, man.
mornings. Yeah,
Yeah, so man, appreciate you again, Kailash, and also
yeah,
appreciate to anybody who's watching. Appreciate it most definitely. And then yeah, man, so tomorrow.
for sure.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
yes, sir. Thank you, my brother.
We'll take care.
Yes, sir. You too.